Hello friends, welcome to Medicine Hub 101. Hope you are good and doing well. And I didn't post any videos for a long time as I was too much busy with my study, of course. So again, I'll upload the videos from today. And similarly, guys, just keep on supporting me. And if you are new, then please don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon just to get the notifications. As if you can have the video first, you can have the notifications by which you can just have the videos fastest, of course. So the today's topic is from the aspect of pathology as well as from the aspect of microbiology, you can say. So there's the immunity. So first of all, guys, we need to know what is immunity. So basically we know immunity is nothing, it is but the response of our body against the infectious agents or the pathogenic agents. Whenever any kind of the toxins or pathogens or any infectious agents just take place within our body, then our body defense systems just try to remove the cause of injury or just to remove the whatever the pathogenous agents or infectious agent is present there. Okay, so I'll just focus on the main areas. So basically immunity, we know it two types. One is innate immunity, another is adaptive immunity. Okay guys, first one is innate immunity, another is adaptive immunity. Now you need to know what is innate immunity. Innate immunity means what? Innate means here birth. So the immunity by what we get by birth. That means it's we get by birth. So after the delivery, when we see there is a very less chance of a baby to get infected. Okay, so this is the innate immunity what we get by our birth. Okay. Now there are some special features of the innate immunity. We have to know all the features as much we can, especially the important ones. So first of all, they are non-specific. They are non-specific. Non-specific means they just can attack anyone's whatever the if there is bacteria, okay, then they will go and attack like those things. So they're not specific. They don't specify any of the organisms out there. Then they don't have any memory. Whenever I'll just compare and contrast with the adaptive immunity, you will understand why they don't have memory and why do they have the memory here. Now, if I just talk about the adaptive immunity, then they are specific. Let me give you an example. For suppose in our body, like streptococcal aureus or any type of the bacteria, they have taken place within our body, and they are just there is something like the inflammations, or at the time our body will try to make some antibodies against that particular agents or particular infectious agents or pathogens by forming an antibody, and that is the called adaptive immunity. That is specific. Okay, for each individual pathogens they will just make each individual antibodies separately totally. And of course they do have the memory cells, or sorry, they will have the memory. Why I'm just try to understand it, guys. They don't have memory, but they do have the memory. Memory means first just give me an example. When any bacterial just have taken place in our body, and it is just keep on keep damaging our tissues. So just to produce the antibody against those particular just what the bacteria, our body will take time to make the antibodies for the first exposure of the pathogens. But if the same pathogen attacks our body second times, at that time the body will just produce the antibody very fast. Why? Whenever the our body was affected by the first exposure of the same bacteria, at the time the memory, like the adaptive immunity, within the adaptive immunity the memory, they do have memory. So by the memory they can understand, they can recognize the same pathogens, so it's easier for them to make the antibodies very fast. That means they will take less time of course than the previous one. Now we have to know the involvement of each of them. Now, in case of innate immunity, there are some like barriers. The barriers. Barriers may be two types. We can say that anatomical or physiological. Now, if we talk about the anatomical, then within anatomical we will see there is like skin is the largest organ. Is the skin. That will not let any like this skin. That the skin will help not to let any pathogens to go within our body to harm us. Of course, there is like the physiological. Physiologicals, we can say the secretions of different organs like these things. Secretions like we can say within eye, like lysozyme, saliva within the something like these things. Okay, and of course, don't I should also mention of it like the stomach. Within the stomach, they will have like these things HCl. There are many more things, but I just make the mentions of few of them. So these are the barriers, the physiological barriers. Now we'll just focus what type of the cells are involved in case of the innate immunity, the cells involvement. So basically, if we want to say about the cells of the innate immunity, then we'll see the neutrophil, of course, we know it. Then we are having the macrophage. Then we are having the NK cell. Now, guys, the neutrophil we all know it. The neutrophil is the fastest. These things whenever there is like the bacterial injury, the neutrophil will go fast within the site of the injury. Okay. Then after that the macrophage will go. It will be activated, of course. Then we have the natural killer cell. Now the natural killer cell, they are having the power to detect. They can detect the virus infected cell, virus infected, or we can say like the mutated, or we can say the cancerous cells. And they will go there and they will try to destroy those infected cells. Those are not helpful for our body, of course. Okay. Then we will see what type of the cells are involved in case of the adaptive immunity. Basically, there are two types of the cells. We will say these things: B lymphocyte, and we are having T lymphocyte. And this B lymphocyte, that fights with extracellular microorganisms. And this one fights with intracellular microorganisms. Okay. Now the B cell is related with the tissue fluid. That's why it's known as also the humoral. Okay. And this is the cell mediated. That's why it's also known as the cellular. Okay. Now few more points. First, suppose in our body there is any bacteria, they have taken place and just keep on damaging the tissues. So bacteria, within the bacteria there is something that is called pathogen associated molecular pattern. Pathogen associated molecular pattern, or simply we can say PAMP, pump. Okay. they just cause the infection within our body. Okay, and that ultimately leads to the formation of the inflammation, of course, there. Similarly, in case of the inflammation of for suppose there is like any injury, from the place of the injury, inflammation, I'm writing briefly. There is also one more like these things, what chemical mediators, that is called danger associated molecular pattern, or briefly simply we can say DAMP, DAMP. Okay, now to understand that something is wrong in our body, like these things, the bacteria has taken place and they keep on damaging, or any kind of the inflammations that is present in our body, just to detect those things within the cells there are some receptors, and those are called the pattern recognition receptors. Okay, now we'll talk about the pattern recognition receptors. Pattern recognition receptor. Pattern recognition receptor. Okay, now we'll just have a diagram base. Okay guys, now the receptors are like these things. For suppose any like this, just let's have a look here. We do have a receptor that is called toll-like receptor. This is called toll-like receptor. Okay, now whenever any kind of the molecules like this, what did I say, pump or damp here. Okay, pump or damp will come here, the toll-like receptors will get activated and it will produce two type of the materials. Okay, one is nuclear factor kappa beta, it's called nuclear factor kappa beta, and what is the function of it? It will just recruit more amount of the neutrophil, like we can say WBC. Okay, will recruit more WBC near the site of injury. Okay, and similarly they will produce one more material that is called interferon 1, and that is against the viruses, that will act against the viruses. Of course, they will go there and they will try to destroy the viruses. Interferon 1. Okay, now we are having one more receptors that is called C type like receptor. Okay, I'm just making with it C type like receptor. Now their mainly function where they will just act against the fungal infection. Against the fungal infection they will act. C type ALD. Okay, now we are having the cytoplasmic receptors. We do have the cytoplasm, that means within the cytoplasm we do have also the receptors. So first we can see the rig-like receptor there is, and we do have also like the knot-like receptor that is related with the phagosome. Knot-like receptor, and the rig-like receptors, they will act against viral nucleic acid. Okay, they will act against the viral nucleic acid, and the knot-like receptors, they do have the capacity to identify multiple molecules. They can identify multiple molecules. What? Like we can say bacteria. Okay. Then second of all, we can say like these things, potassium efflux. If there is too much, like efflux of the potassium, so what will happen? That within the cell, the amount of the potassium that will get decreased, and that is sensed or that is recognized, or this condition is understandable by whom? That is the Nod-like receptor. Then they can also understand the sense of, reactive oxygen species ROS, and also they can also understand the sense of the uric acid here. Okay. And I said that the Nod-like receptors, that is related with the inflammasomes. Of course, we need to know it a little bit more. That's the exam like question, like inflammasome. Now, this inflammasome is having the capacity to produce caspase-1 that we read in the necroptosis here. Caspase-1. And from this caspase-1, we know that there is also production of the what? Interleukin-1. And this interleukin-1 will just cause the fever. That is the pyrexic agents that will cause the pyrexic agents also. Okay. So this was all about the or like immune systems. So if you want to have the screenshot, or if you want to take the peek, you can have the peek, of course, here. Okay. Hope you understood. Okay, if you don't understand, just which portion did understand, if you want me to explain anywhere, just let me know in the comment section. Of course, I'll help you with my best. And if you are new, please do subscribe my channels and support me, guys. I need your support to make more videos. Thank you so much for watching.